Hey fellas, back to working on the 64 today. I've cut this template out and I should have probably videoed how I done it a little bit more. But a rough basic idea here is to get you a piece of cardboard, and I basically took it inside the frame, set it down. I marked the top and the bottom of the frame rail, and then I cut about 1/8 of an inch because that's about what the frame is. I cut about 1/8 of an inch inside that line, and then just kept trimming it until I got it to where I wanted it to be. Probably had to do a little bit more trimming, but it sets inside the frame rail right there pretty good. You can see the frame is not straight on the very top, but it sets in there pretty well. Very close for boxing in the rest of the frame rails. I did get a little bit more. Let me get back here and I'll show you the rest of it. Okay, back to it here. Went ahead and finished cleaning up and around the truck here, and you can see there where I've cut these plates out. Those ones are just tacked in for now, but the back half is welded in to the cross member. This piece of angle is just laying there. I'm gonna try putting those 2 square pieces of bent metal there on the outside of the frame rails to stiffen where the shocks go. But now you can see how the exhaust lays underneath the truck. Not quite straightened up there, but about where it's gonna go is right there. These 2 mounts right here is where the factory hangers go on the cross member. After changing it out on the Mustang, I know exactly that's where it goes. So, but yeah, it's just it was a process of doing, and the welds aren't the prettiest, but they're strong enough to do what I needed to do, and there's enough of it that it's not going to break. So I'm going to finish welding those, clean the frame real well, and coat the thing. So these pockets also are out here. They're cut out for this style of speed clip. Will go in the frame there to bolt the bed in. We got it set up ready for that. So anyway, I took a pair of the quick grips, clamped that cardboard to the side of the frame rail, marked the upper and the lower the best I could for what I could draw out. The radius arm mounts there were in the way a little bit, but went ahead and got them marked out, and I ended up with this piece of cardboard. Said part cardboard. It's just a piece I've been painting on. So I know you guys can transfer stuff to metal, same as anybody else, but here's my 2 drawings laid out. I get that time to get the angle grinder out here in just a minute and hack these out. And I'll cut them out on the inside of the line because I marked toward the outside of the line. So I'll cut them out on the inside of the line, get those cut out and see how they fit today. And probably won't get them tacked in, but I will get them cut out and ready to go in. That means to final trim them, do a little grinding on them here and there where they don't want to fit. But I like to have them tight enough that they will set in the frame rail without having any problems. And just those ones tacked in there, the frame is so much stiffer. It's amazing how much better it feels already. There's still some work I'm going to do to these. I'm going to take all of them off, plate over top of where they are, just to finish stiffening that stuff up. But anyway, I won't bore you guys with cutting it out with the grinder. I mean, it's just something you got to do. I hate running a grinder anymore, and I don't like the way most plaz is cut. So if I got to grind on it after I'm done plazing it out, what's the use? I just will grind it out to begin with. So when we get started on that piece of metal, and I'll get you guys back and set up for when I go to fitting it in the frame. So we'll see you in a few. Okay, with any luck, they come out pretty close. Had them laying together, and there are a little bit of differences, but I got to trim each one. I'll see which one fits and each frame rail, you can see that even though they're marked out the same, and I cut them pretty close. They get it laying here right. There we go. That's pretty close. So I got a little bit of difference here and a little bit of difference here, but that's okay. We'll go to lay it in the frame rail. We'll see which one fits each frame rail a little better than the other, and then we'll trim them with the grinder to fit. So, or buffing wheel and a little sanding and stuff up on the edge with a flapper wheel there. So I'll get set up, get them over here in the frame, see if I can get them to fit. Okay, so I got them pieces brought over. Get your trusty Sharpie here. Hate being down on my knees, but that's what I got today. So I'm gonna see if either one of them will fit in the frame on this side. And they may neither one fit, who knows. We're gonna set it in there and see how it does go. So it come out pretty close. Looks like it needs to go back just a fuzz. Which I may have to trim this corner back here, probably out of camera. I'll pull it out a little bit just so we can see if the rest of it fits. The front's pretty close there. It's just even got a hammer laying here still. That one's just a little too tight for there, so let's try this one. See how this one goes. Got it slid back against the cross member back here. Looks like it's just on the edge of not fitting there. Got the bottom pulled down a little too far. There we go. So what I usually do is just take a look and see where it does fit. Along this, you can see that clearly it's not going to fit right there. So I usually just kind of put the Sharpie line right along right where I want to take out some. Kind of keep that a mental note of, looks like that front might need just a fuzz off of it. Back to there. So I got that there, got on my mark there, and looks like about from, I don't know, about here to here. We're gonna need a little bit there. Somewhere right in there. Across that, so I'll set up and I'll grind that out real quick. Just them spots, and see if, then I need to take off just a little bit in the corners back there to get it to fit in the cross brace. In between the cross member. I just go off of usually what I've remembered it needing. So I gotta have a little bit off this corner. It's hitting right here. And yeah, before the safety police get me, yeah, there's no guard, no kind of safeties left on this old grinder. But it's the way I like to use it, and it's the way I've always used it, and that's how I'm going to continue to do it. One little spot left in the end. See how that looks. All right, removing them corners back there. Looks like it made it the right length. It fits really good. Get my shirt out of it. Definitely went in up there. And got just a little bit more, so remark it and do it again. So you can see it's touching right here. Probably from there all the way back to there. And probably hit this whole line again, just right. Continue right on a little bit. We'll hit that right there. But it's just how I've done it. It's seemed to work real well. And then usually if I just take my time and grind on these just a little bit here and there, I can get them to where they drive in with a hammer. And once I get them drove in, then they set where I want them to weld them. So. Always remember not to pick it up where it's hot, like I just did. So we got the bottom sitting in there just about right. And the top may not be the only thing that you need to trim. I always just kind of start with the top and see if there's any places that need anything as I go. The bottom's not touching all the way up there to that weld up here. So take that corner out just a little bit. Now we got the bottom is sitting right there somewhere. It's sitting on something, so it actually is pretty close. So. Let's see if this thing will. A little too much. Looks like I could use off just a little bit right here. She's touching. Maybe right there, the whole thing. Take that little bit off and we'll see how it goes again. Sometimes these are a little bit of a challenge to get in there. I'm trying to cut them so close to the frame, so. She needs just a little bit right there. that let her in. Yep, that let her loose right there. Pull out at the bottom just a little bit. And when you tack these in, it's easy just to tack one side and set that stuff in there. But I really like to set it out there even. Get it where I want it, all the way down the frame on one side or the other, and then maybe pull or push or whatever it takes to get it lined up to the frame real well. It is definitely a snug fit on that one, so that's exactly where I want it. Other than getting the bottom out on it right there, I think that's it. I think that'll be just fine. It'll set in the frame for me, so I can get a couple tacks on it. Hey fellas, get back down here and I'm gonna finish up these frame inserts today. See if I can get this second one lined out and ready to go in. See how this one looks on this side. This one looks like it's pretty close too to doing what we want. A little bit long down there on the weld at the bottom. We'll start right here on this corner first. Take it out for right there. One thing I forgot to mention the other day is once you get these cut out, if you cut them out with a deburring wheel or a cut-off wheel or whatever, make sure and take the time to deburr them. It's so much better to work with. I know it ain't nothing until you think about it, until you've handled it 100 times. So we'll go ahead and set this one up here. Looks like it's sitting there pretty close. Back corner back here. Looks like it's catching. We're gonna have to get rid of that corner there just a little bit more too. Still holding back there in the back just a little bit, so we'll go ahead and mark that a little more off of it there. That way we can get off of this front so much. And then looks like the back of it fits really nice. Might be just a little right here. I think the top's gonna fit. I think we'll just go ahead and mark that too while we're there. So we're gonna take out from here to there. Yeah, probably right on up, right there. We'll take that out real quick. All right, so we got that ground down. Let's see if she fits better this time. I think this side's gonna fit better than the other side did. Or at least easier. How's that? Look at that. So just a little touching back here at the back corner. And I think that will let the whole thing set down if I take some off of it. But the front's fitting in. A little bit on the weld right there at the top. And just a fuzz right here to come out. So go ahead and mark them spots. I'm going to take a little bit off this corner and a little more right there and a little back here. That should let it drop in. We'll grind that and try her again. Seems like these old frames are pretty close to each other. but you know, there's always going to be a little bit of difference here and there. So that's why I usually just cut them to pretty well to fit per side. Looks like that right there may have it. Scared me, sorry for the noise, but the other side fell out there. Looks like I may need to take just a little bit more out of there. Along that's got it pinned down to where it don't fit right. Got just a little bit of a hump in the frame right there. You can see it pivoting on it when you're here, I guess. There we go. That fits. I'm gonna take off about right here. Up to there. Just a little bit more. And I'm gonna mark the frame and the piece of metal. I'm gonna see if that can't be knocked down just a little bit, see if there's something under it. Yeah, there's definitely a hump in it, like it's been jacked up on, or something's bent the lip of that. The lip of the frame there just a little bit. May have to get a little bigger hammer. One thing about it is just take your time and get it to where you want it. Don't go too far too fast. That did knock that hump out of the frame. It's not touching now. It's back here again. And I think that may have it there. I mean, it's just barely. Barely not fitting in there. And we'll marker and grinder one more time. It's not that bad. I'm gonna do just right here. It's the only place left in it, which it might be bent down a little there, who knows? There she went. Perfect. That'll sit right in there now, right like it's supposed to. It's not quite as tight as I got the other side, but it'll definitely be good enough to weld it in there. And you see the bottom edge of that frame ain't quite, it sticks out further in other places, so we'll get that, we'll get it set in there nice and square, pulled out at the top. So it matches everything. You can see the frame gets wide and narrow here, wider here than it is there. But yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. I got to make sure that I don't forget to take care of these holes as I put my cross member bolts and stuff in. I will be adding one more bolt hole to the top in that, and I want to make sure and get all of it together. But yeah, it come out pretty good there. Just a few minutes, another 15, 20 minutes today. Clean up the grinder shavings here real quick, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Alright, as you can see, I got it tacked in place there. What I've decided to do is the bolts in the frame, they go through the frame, hold the cross member on. I'm going to take a 1/4 inch drill bit, or whatever size I got, probably a 1/4 inch drill bit, and drill through that, through the outside. Then I'll use a hole saw, like a 1/2 inch or so, cut that out, and I'll turn me a bushing that fits through there to hold the 1/4 inch or 5/16 bolts or 1/2 inch bolts, whatever I decide to use. Something a little more substantial. The ones I got in there is just the proof of concept to hold it up. So I've got it tacked here, here, there, and one up here. So I'm going to finish pulling these in just real light like. Put this clamp on it, hold it in there to it's where I want it. Got that one right there, looks nice. Got just a little bit of room in there to weld in. So I'm going to weld, we'll tack that up here, and then I'll get another one down here at the bottom to hold it. Alright, so I got that held in place there. Come down here, pull it in just a little bit where it looks nice and flush. It's going to stick out a little bit in this spot here. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I probably could have cut it long and turned it and beat it out around that, but I'm just not that good at it. So I'm going to weld this in right here. Got him tacked in there. So last place I want to get is back here. Got about a 1/4 inch gap. And I want to get that pulled in. It's just where the frame's not straight on these. The top lip is not, you know, dead nuts on. So just pull it into it. Looks good. Always be mindful of where your welds and stuff are for the heat. So tack this one in here. Bear with me. The one thing that I found that these Apple Watches do not like, and the phone, is hot sparks landing on them. It'll crack the screen almost instantly. It's a wonder I made it that far with it. Okay. Whew. A little warmer in a couple spots. So I think that one's tacked in. Sound like one of them might have let loose here just a little. Man, I really almost think I could get away with pulling that in right there and welding it up, or at least part of it. I'll try it and see. That's got it back to here. We'll throw some on that. so that's got that tacked in there pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to do any good to pull that in and weld that up or not, but knowing me, I'll probably try it. Put a little bit here and there on it. Got just a little bit of gap up there to the conversion up there. So clean the other side up, move you guys to the other side and see if I can get it tacked in. So, all right, so I went ahead and got the that side put in. It's tacked in along the bottom. I'll go ahead and take the quick grip here and we'll go over and finish welding that in or tacking it in place. I've got it drilled in a couple places right here. One of them that's really right where I want it, so I'm just going to throw this on there to hold it right where I want it. It just is in. We'll spot it in place. Just kind of looking down over the edge of the frame to see when that disappears, and when it does, I'll bring it in just a little bit and spot it in there too. I tell you, as I get older, bifocal glasses, welding helmet, all that stuff just gets more and more challenging. All right, so got the back here's done. Get in here and tack it in. It's got that one. Pull it in right here. Got it held in there. Make sure where I'm laying my arm. And it's got a little on it. Go up here and get the front. So, in doing that, looks like I got a little far forward, and it's touching right up here just a wee bit. I don't think it's enough to hurt anything. I might just let it loose, pry it back out here, and take a grinder and just trim just a fuzz off of it. Yeah, it just needs just a little bit. Let me grab a grinder and take care of that. I think I got it. We'll see. clamp a little closer. Be able to tack weld that right there. That opened it up just enough. We'll go around there and get the welder and spot weld it. That's a pretty healthy one. So just like the other side, I think I'm gonna pull this in just right back this way just a little bit. Give it a little bit here. Well, I think that's got it. Frame looks about the same on both sides, as far as spacing and everything. Might have to get that a little more. Like I say, I don't claim to be no welder. I get done what I need to do, and that's about it. So, well, there it is, guys. It's the frame panels are done. Next thing will be to take a few minutes to drill these holes, transfer them through. I'm actually adding a third bolt, and I'll probably take all of that up to at least a 3/8, which is more than enough. So take them, drill them all out, get them through the frame, turn out a spacer or a bushing that fits through the hole and solid into the other frame rail, and then I'll weld that in when I get it bolted all together. So, all right, till next time, I'll gather up some tools and get this stuff ready. There's just a little bit of it as you look down on it to see what all it looks like. It looks like there is a little bit more of the bottom of the frame on this side sticking out just a little bit, but it all nice and looks nice and true. It looks flush underneath there. I'm happy with it, and that's really all that matters, I reckon. It'll make it way stronger than it leaving it open. I was talking to the guys at work there today. I wished I'd have done a frame twist test just to see how much more rigid, like jack up one back wheel until it picks up one tire off of the ground to see how much frame twist is in it, and then do this and then check it again and see how that goes. But I've already got everything in there, and it's a little too late for that, so just curiosity. So all right, we'll see in a few. I'm sure most of you guys probably caught what I've done to myself. When I welded these on, I did manage to have nuts and bolts and washers and everything else inside of the frame rail, and I welded right over top of them. I'm sure you guys could see it going on, and it's like, oh man, it happens. I don't think it's something that's that devastational that I can't get it apart. Nothing's ever permanent if you want to work at it hard enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these bolts out one at a time. I'm hoping I can get back in there with a 1/2 wrench through the cross member hole, which I should be able to, but if not, I'll take the grinder and get them loose and cut the freaking heads off of them and not worry about it. Get them out of there when I cut the holes in for the bushings. So anyway, I'm sure you guys find that pretty funny. I did after I seen it. I was like, ah, can't believe I did that. Anyway, Ain't too concerned if I lose the nut. Haha, got that one out. So 5/16 bolt. I'll go get a 1/4-inch drill bit, hold it nice and level, and we'll drill a hole in it. So we can use the hole saw on the backside. Alright, so figures the only drill bit I could find, the one that I could find, was dull, so I had to sharpen that. So we'll sit down here and poke this hole out real quick. Yeah, there we go. There it is for the hole saw. All right, so I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to do the top one too while I'm at it. Get them 2 bolts put back in, and then I'll do the third one. I'll bring you back when I go to do the hole saw in the backside. That's why I want to drill something real close to a 1/4 inch. I ended up with a 17/64. So I can go in the inside. I still may have to take the mount out of the way. I want to go ahead and get that put through, and then so I can hole saw the backside out. All right, I'll show you that when I get done. All right, well, that's the smallest hole saw I could find. I'm gonna go ahead and stick with like 3/8 bolts. This is gonna be a 7/8 hole. All right, so we laid out for the third bolt in the top, inch down from the top of my bracket. It's a 4-inch wide piece. When I get the hole saw holes in there, got them hole sawed in. Go over and do the other side, make it just like this one, and go from there. Okay, after doing a little digging and looking, I ended up, that hole fits perfect for the 9/16 socket. I got some 3/8 bolts with some pretty cool, self-locking nuts. I got a 13/64 drill bit, or 13/32. I think that's right. Yeah. I'm gonna drill them out, stick these bolts in them, and I'm gonna skip putting the spacers in the frame and adding all that extra stuff. The hole saw worked out perfect for this socket, for an impact socket, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, bolt it all up, drill the other side, make this job a lot shorter, and it'll be just as strong without having any problems. So, all right, I'm gonna get to it. Was hot. Whew. Drill bit's a little sharp. All right. Cool part is about these flange nuts, should be able to set him in there and get him in the frame without losing it. So we'll see how that. It's got that one. We'll hit them with just a little bit with the impact here. Just snug them up. Alrighty, so that's got us all fixed up for that one. Now what we got to do is drill this other hole and then hole saw it out. And this side will be ready to go. Well, that one come apart easy. All right, we'll get our small drill bit. We'll transfer that through to the new. Get our hole saw. Back to low. See the hole that came through. Hey, we even got a washer come out the bottom. All right, so we'll line up on that hole again. There's that. And then I got the ball here on the die grinder. Just go around the inside real easy. That way we get rid of any burr on the inside of there. And that's it right there. Grab our bolt and our socket. I better drill the hole out first, I guess. Poke this last hole through. Stick the bolt in there and hopefully we make it. There it is. Make sure we're in forward. Now our cross member's all nice and tight. We don't have to worry about losing that. So I did discover I didn't do much of that to the cross member, so I may have to take and do that to my cross member there where my mount's going to set. I don't want to collapse that as I tighten up into the bushing, so I may go ahead and do that for it. Anyway, that's going to be it for this evening. I'm going to do the other side and get it out of the way. Then hopefully the next video will hopefully set either the cab or the bed on and see about either making the airbag mount that'll lift the bed and the tilt section of the bed. Probably mount that airbag and stuff on it, get it all done so I can get the bed back on. I was going to make the bed tilt just for the simple fact that you can't get the tires and wheels off. The bed sets down over so far that you can't get nothing apart. So anyway, we're gonna call today, and we'll catch you on the next section of the build.